Welcome to the hexagon series. This week we're going to be making this lovely hexagon here. You can see it's got like a nice big star or flower, however you want to think of it, in the middle. And I'm going to be using, for the demo, I'll be using this light blue colour. I'll put the link for the yarn in the description. It's Highland Heathers by Stylecraft in Aran weight, and I'm using a 5mm hook, but the pattern works for other weight yarns as well. I have tried it out in a DK yarn and a 4-ply cotton yarn as well, so it's quite versatile as long as you make sure you're using the appropriate hook for whichever yarn you're using. So yeah, we're going to make this pattern here, so let's get started. You need your tension to be quite tight for rounds 1 and 2 so that the hexagon lays flat at the end. So just bear that in mind. I just give a little tug on my yarn after I've made the stitch. You'll see, I'll show you in a moment. So to begin, we're going to make a double magic circle, yeah, and then chain 1. And the first round, this round 1, is the same as a granny hexagon. So starting in the corner, we're going to make our starting stitch. So however you like to make your starting stitch, some people like to do a chain 2. I like to do a US single. So tug on that because, like I said, we're making this round quite tight, and then a chain 1. We're then going to chain 1 for the corner. We're now going to make a round of US doubles or UK trebles if you prefer to use UK terms. So we're going to make 2 stitches. So I tug there after I've pulled the first through, and then again after I've pulled the second through, I tug again. So that's the first stitch. We're then going to make the second stitch, tugging as you go so that it's not too loose, yeah. Chain 1 and then 2 more stitches. Chain 1, 2 more stitches. So all together we're going to make 5 of these groups. Yeah, so we've already done 2 groups. We're now on the third. Chain 1, 2 more stitches. Chain 1, I think that's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're going to make 2 more stitches. Keeping that tension tight, and chain 1. So we're now ready to make the last stitch and pull the circle tight. So we're going to make half of the first stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go into the circle, pull the yarn through, give a little tug, pull through 2 loops, tug, and we'll now close up the circle. So you're going to pull on your tail end just a little bit to see which loop tightens up first, and then pull on the loop that started to tighten up all the way to close your circle, and then pull on the tail end. Yeah, so there's the working yarn. Take your tail in front of the working yarn but behind the hook. Yeah, pull tight and pull through those last 2 loops. We're then going to close round 1, we're going to slip stitch into the chain space and then chain 1, and that's how your work should look at the end of round 1. So for round 2, we're going to start making these points, yeah, and we're going to do that by making 4 stitches together. We're using US doubles or UK trebles, and again you need those stitches there, the tension to be quite tight, yeah. So we're going to be starting off in the chain space. We're going to make our first stitch of the cluster, so we're going to make a US single, UK double, and then chain 1. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the first stitch, pull the loop through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Pull tight, put yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Again, pull that tight. We're now going to yarn over and go into the second stitch. Pull the yarn through. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and again tighten that up. Yeah, so the last stitch we're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the chain 1 space, pull the yarn through. You'll now have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, pull the yarn tight. Yeah, so you've got 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Yeah, we're now going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's your first point, and we're now going to make the second point, and we're going to do that, make that in a similar way to the last one, except we won't have a starting stitch. So we yarn over, go into the chain 1 space, pull the yarn through, pull that tight. You've got 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops and pull your yarn tight. Yarn over, go into the first stitch, pull the yarn through, 4 loops on the hook, pull through 2, tighten up. Yarn over, go into the second stitch, pull the yarn through, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, pull that tight, yeah? Yarn over, so to make the last stitch, we're going to go into that chain space. Pull the yarn through. You should have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and again pull the yarn tight. Yarn over, you've got now 5 loops on the hook, not including that yarn over we just made, and pull through all 5 loops. Yeah, pull the yarn tight and chain 4. And that's your repeat. So each stitch is made the same way that we just made that stitch. Yeah, so into the chain space, start your first stitch. Into the next stitch, start your second stitch. Into the next stitch, start your third stitch. And then into the chain space to start the 4th stitch. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, tighten up and chain 4. And that's your repeat. So if you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've just made my last 4 stitches together, and I'm now at the end of the round. So to join, we're going to go through the front of those 4 stitches. So that'll be the chain space of your starting stitch, and then into the front of the other 3 stitches, you see, and then through the back. So into the back of that chain space, pull the yarn through all 4, and then through the loop on your hook. Yeah, and we're then going to slip stitch into the chain space and chain 1, and that's how your work should look at the end of round 2. For round 3, we're going to be making cluster stitches, and we're going to make 3 cluster stitches in each of these chain spaces. Yeah, so we're going to start off, I like to make my starting cluster by making a US single, UK double, chain 1, and then making a standard US double, UK treble. You can go back to your normal tension now. Yeah, then we chain 1. So we're going to make 2 more clusters in there. So make your first cluster using 2 US doubles, UK trebles together. Oops. And then chain 1. So we've now got 2 clusters there, and we're going to make the 3rd one. Again, 2 US doubles, UK trebles together. We're now going to chain 2 for the corner, and we're going to hop across to the next chain space. So we're going to make 3 clusters. So make your first cluster, chain 1, make your second cluster, chain 1, and then make your third cluster. So we're now at the corner. This is going to be our corner. We're going to chain 2 for the corner and then hop across to the next chain 4 space, and we're going to repeat. We're going to make 3 clusters with chain 1 spaces between. Yeah, so make your first cluster, chain 1, make your second cluster, chain 1, and then make your third cluster. We're now at the corner, so we chain 2 and hop across to the next chain 4 space, and we're just going to go make it into the next 3 chain spaces, same thing, and I'll see you at the end of the round. We can join up together. Yeah. So I'm now at the end of the round. I've made my chain 2 and we're going to slip stitch to join. So we're going to go into that chain space and then into the front of the cluster, go through the chain space to the back, pull the yarn through and through the loop. Yeah, we're then going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space and chain 1. And that's how your work should look at the end of round 3. So if you do find that that's not laying flat, maybe you've gone too tight with your chains from round 2, yeah, or you're not making your stitches on round 2 tight enough. Yeah. So we're now going to finish off. It's the last round and it's going to be a granny stitch round. Yeah, so we start in the corners, but as you'll notice, we're on the edge. So we're just going to make 1 stitch into that chain 1 space that we've ended up in, however you like to make that starting stitch. I've made my US single chain 1 or US double, yeah, no, UK double chain 1, and then we're going to hop across to the next chain space. We're going to make 2 US doubles or UK trebles, and we're now at the corner, so we're going to make 2 stitches. All the stitches for this round are US doubles, UK trebles. Chain 1 for the corner and then 2 more stitches into that same space. Yep. Into the chain 1 space, make 2 stitches. Into the next chain 1 space, make 2 stitches. And we're at the next corner, so we're going to make 2 stitches. I just need to get some slack. Chain 1 for the corner and 2 more stitches. Oops. Remember, all the stitches are US doubles or UK trebles. Hop across to the next chain 1 space, 2 more stitches. Next chain 1 space, 2 more stitches. And we're at the next corner, so we're going to make 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches. So if you're making along, you can press pause if you want, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm just coming up to the end of the round. If you remember when we started, we just made 1 stitch into that first chain one space. So we just need to make that second stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch into not the starting stitch, but the first proper stitch we made. Go into the top, slip stitch, and then that slip stitch looks like the stitch top for the starting stitch we made, so it just makes it look nice and neat. And then I like to chain 2, and there we go. There's our finished pattern. I hope you liked this. Hope you like this pattern. Here it is on the blanket in pink, which looks really nice once it's in with the blanket. There's our blue one that we've just made. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video.